Yeah, but you're okay. Those things never get in your way. And I've been down this road so many times before.
Hello, my name is Jim Petroutsos and I'm here to present Sound and Vision. The team at SMB TV were very kind enough to invite me to do this segment. Just think of me as your digital entertainment Sherpa. Every month I'll be going through music, film and streaming television, and I will be able to handpick, curate, suggest what I find to be interesting, maybe not so interesting, maybe something quite popular, something controversial, because I do love a controversy. So stick with me and I will navigate your way through all the digital entertainment for the month. So the first segment, I like to call it listening. So it's the music segment. So my first music suggestion is actually an album from David Gray. He's from United Kingdom, and people may know him through his 2000 release of White Ladder. That was a massive release, especially in his home turf, but also here in Australia. It had the hit singles Babylon and Sail Away, and this year, 2021, he's released his new album called Sculling. Now this is more of a chilled out situation, so sometimes when you want to chill or maybe feel a little bit reflective, this is the album to listen to. I had it on at work, just on the background, and I had it on repeat, and a couple of hours later I realized I've been listening to it all that time, and it was beautiful. It was actually a little bit like melodic melancholy. So his music also has been coined as folktronic. So mostly folk, but does have an electronic feel. That would be my pick for when you want to listen to something on a lazy day, or you want to maybe de-stress and just gather your thoughts. It's an amazing album with just such beautiful melodies, and you know, allows you to decompress. Enjoy. So my next suggestion is by an artist that, for the life of me, I don't know why he's not bigger and more popular. His name is Roosevelt, the United States president. His name's Roosevelt. He's a German singer and has been going since 2016, I think, and has a new album release, but I want to go back to the album prior. In 2019, he released an album called Young Romance. So it has a very pop, dance, electronica feel about it. A little bit 80s, and by the beard, you can see that I do love my 80s. It still has a fresh sound though, and it's really upbeat. Roosevelt does a fantastic cover of Fleetwood Mac's Everywhere from the Fleetwood Mac album, Tango in the Night or Of the Night. Glenn? So yes, listen to his stuff on Spotify, the album Young Romance. Why he's not bigger than what he is, I don't understand, but great pop tracks. Okay, so now we've come up to the moment of the Music Fast Five. So these are my top 5 things in music for this month. Number 1, Artist of the Month goes to Miley Cyrus. Now she is the boss. She is the boss bitch. And when I say bitch, I mean it in a very respectful way. What an amazing year she's had. Even through COVID, the release of her last album was epic. So kudos to her. Listen to her last album, it's amazing. Number 2, this might be controversial and I do love a good comment, so feel free to add comments underneath. The most overhyped release is Ariana Grande, Positions. Now, her success from this album proves me wrong in my opinion, but no girl, no. She's, I think she's doing the Mariah Carey, you know. I wanna touch you, I don't know the words, what are the words? Where you used to sing and have great pop songs and then suddenly you whisper everything and it's all about being R&B and being a bad bitch. But you know what? She's got a bazillion fans and everyone would disagree with me, but I was very disappointed with the album. Number 3, worth the hype. I think The Weeknd's album After Hours is still pretty amazing. And, you know, it's had a huge success and it's totally worth all the hype of the past year. Although the Grammys, I think, snubbed The Weeknd in every category. So what is that telling you? But I definitely think it's one of the best albums to come out of last year and deserves repeat listens. Plug it in, play it loud, enjoy. Number 4, music to revisit. Now, this is an interesting one. Recently, I told a friend that I hadn't listened to Tears for Fears album, Songs from the Big Chair. I've heard the singles, but never really listened to the album. So many years later, after its release, I listened to the full album and, you know, the singles were huge, the production was huge. It still sounds great. Don't know how that one passed me by, but definitely have a listen. My pick of the songs from that whole album is Head Over Heels. Such a great track. That piano hook, really good. And number 5, my current song of the moment is Montero, Call Me By My Name by Lil Nas X. And trigger warning, if you have an aversion to highly sexual, suggestive activities and visuals and combine that with maybe religious symbols and visuals, then you wouldn't want to watch this video. However, for the rest of us, definitely YouTube that video. It's currently number 1 on the Billboard charts and has caused a lot of controversy. And that's how I like my music. That is my fast 5 for the music. So the next section is binge, streaming television. And first up is one of my favorite TV shows of the last year, the lovable Ted Lasso on Apple Television. And it was starring Jason Sudeikis. He's the gentleman from 30 Rock, Liz Lemon's love interest. Also, he was in Horrible Bosses, one of the 3 kooky yet lovable leads. And also his co-star, Hannah Waddingham. She's actually famous for one of the most iconic scenes in Game of Thrones. Do you remember the shame episode? Yeah, that was her ringing that bell. So looks totally different, by the way, no bell. These two are such great leads in actually a very strong cast. So this show has already won 3 Critics' Choice Awards and a Golden Globe for Best Male Lead by Jason Sudeikis. It's a winning combination of that American enthusiasm and optimism mixed with a lot of the United Kingdom irreverence and twisted sense of humor. So it actually turns out to be great to watch. I know some people have said to me, they couldn't watch that first episode because the character was so over the top, but you really have to push through and, you know, watch it without any irony and really fall in love with the character and the ensemble cast around him, and you'll really get to feel the love and enthusiasm that Ted Lasso exudes as a character and also as a show. Okay, so my rating, it's 100% feel good with some tears along the way and gets a very solid 9 out of 10. Okay, my second binging option I would suggest is a show called The Expanse, which is now on Amazon Prime. So it's definitely a solid sci-fi drama with a little bit of noir thrown in there, and I binged this over 2 months. It was pretty hardcore because there were 5 seasons and 56 episodes, and they're all about an hour long. So that was some viewing and all worth it. This show is famous for its technical visuals and its accuracy around space travel. The visuals are amazing and their attention to detail is spot on here. Some of the acting choices I wasn't keen on, but the story, the political thriller, the drama, the action, they definitely just all kicked in and saved the day. Even when the show felt, you know, a little bit staged or a little bit typical, then the visual effects and the action sequences were pretty amazing. So a bit of a spoiler alert, so look away if you don't want to know anything about the show. But what I did enjoy about this show is the Game of Thrones effect, that's what I call it. And with that, you didn't know who was safe. You know, one minute you're falling in love with the character, the next minute they're dead. So my rating on this is a over-the-top space melodrama, action, political thriller. Yeah, it's a very sexy show. Enjoy it. I give it a good 8 out of 10. Okay, now we're up to our TV Fast 5. I like these bits. All right, so here we go. Number 1. And at number 1, we have Actor of the Month. And I'm gonna give it to Jason Sudeikis because I love Ted Lasso so much, and he did win the Golden Globe for it, and deservedly so. I fell in love with him, and one of my favorite characters of the current TV offering. So good. Number 2, most overhyped TV show. I feel I'm gonna get a little bit of pushback on this, but I'm gonna choose WandaVision for this one. It's on Disney+. So I'm expecting a lot of comments on this one, but you know, no, didn't work for me. The trick of using past TV sitcom show styles from American television wasn't really a hook that I enjoyed. I thought it was a bit clumsy and probably overreaching, trying to make something interesting that isn't that interesting. I mean, you know, Wanda and Vision, out of the whole Marvel universe, are they that interesting? If you don't agree, I get it. Please comment. But yeah, I wasn't feeling it, even with the little reveals and the slow reveals. I just thought, is anyone still watching? But apparently they are. Deserving its hype, and that would be Schitt's Creek. That's currently on Netflix in Australia. That show, I watched it as it was airing and just fell in love with it season after season. And of course, it's gained a lot of hype, winning, how many Emmys? 9? 13? Anyway, every Emmy in its category for its last season, and deservedly so. Go watch it now if you haven't. It's literally the best show on television right now. And number 4, we have the revisit television shows. And my choice is Frasier. You have 11 seasons to choose from, and I found him lovable in Cheers. And then on his spin-off show, Frasier, he was just as lovable, if not dysfunctional, which is part of his charm. So go revisit those. They're on Stan at the moment in Australia. And last but not least, number 5, high expectations, new releases. Word has it that Frasier is doing a reboot. It's going to be on Paramount Plus and should be very interesting, as I'm a huge fan. Looking out for that one. Not sure which other streaming services that's on, but hopefully we get it this year. The last segment is called Watch the Movie Reviews. And the first one up is No Man Land with Frances McDormand. She's actually the amazing actor from Fargo, the movie, and also 3 Billboards. And I think this one is also up for an Academy Award for herself, her acting, and also directing and the picture itself. This movie is actually set through Nevada and throughout the American West, and follows the life of a nomad after some life-altering events. So no spoilers, don't worry. The pace and cinematography of this movie I found quite beautiful, but also very hypnotic. It had a feeling of not so much a documentary, but like a sneak peek into someone's life rather than a movie. So you were drawn into the movie, and I forgot it was a movie and just started to think of it as just a point of view, or someone's living their life. The acting was spot on. It was actually quite understated and underplayed, which I really appreciated. So as the movie progressed, we had character development, but at a steady pace. We could fill in the gaps ourselves rather than being forced. The character development actually allowed you the space and the time to do that. It was really, really well done. Another little tidbit for this movie is that, yes, they did use actors. However, a lot of the scenes were using actually real people that were nomads as well. So it just added to that authenticity. Such a beautiful, beautiful touch. So my rating for this is, it was a beautifully paced and hypnotic film, and some great understated acting and nuanced character development. A solid 8 out of 10. And my second movie is Palmer, which is on Netflix and was released in 2021. This one is, well, famous for having Justin Timberlake, the singer, as the lead. He has acted before and quite well. If you've watched the movie Friends with Benefits, then you know that he has done some acting, but he's flexing his acting chops in this one a tad more. This one is a drama about family and new beginnings. Even though the story seems familiar, the character types are a little bit familiar, I really enjoy this because of its heart and its message. Even though Justin Timberlake does a fantastic job in this, his co-star, the child actor, Ryder Allen, steals the show. Literally, he pulls the heartstrings and does a bang-up job at all his scenes, and we fall in love with him. So, you know, Justin Timberlake does a great job, so does the supporting cast, but Ryder pulls it through in the end. My rating for this is, it is a drama by numbers, but it does pull at the heartstrings and its message is so good, so I'm gonna give it a 7. Here is my movie Fast 5, number 1. My actor of the month has got to go to Frances McDormand. She is amazing. I pretty much think everyone would agree with me there. If you look into her other films, you'll find a treasure trove of talent and just an amazing career trajectory. So definitely, in the next month, have a look into some of her old stuff. So number 2, the most overhyped release, and this has got to go to the movie Mank. And this is by David Fincher, which usually would, to me, indicate a fantastic film. No. Yes, maybe the direction was technically great and the black and white looked beautiful, but I found the story not that interesting, the acting a little bit camp, maybe. It was almost a bit like a parody of itself, maybe. But it's up for an Oscar, so what do I know? But yeah, I think that's been overhyped, maybe a little. At number 3 is Worth the Hype, and here is Promising Young Woman, a movie out late last year, and watched it and was very surprised by the story. The acting was bang on, and also the ending was unexpected. No spoilers. But yeah, definitely worth the hype, and it's also up for Best Picture. At number 4, it's a revisit movie, and I know my partner is so sick of this movie, and it might not be to everyone's taste, but I would suggest that you go out and watch How to Marry a Millionaire, released in 1953. Okay, so it may be a little bit or a lot sexist, but just having the 3 leads, Lauren Bacall, Marilyn Monroe, and Marilyn Monroe, Judy Garland, and Betty Grable in a movie together is enough for me. So if you want a little bit of camp, if you want a little bit of style, if you want to see how they used to do it, definitely watch this movie. And at number 5, our high expectations, released later this year, is the movie Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. And, you know, what do I need to say about Ryan Reynolds? He's so funny. No. Damn it. Well, he is funny, but no, that's it. That was my monthly review for Sound and Vision on SMB TV. I hope you can get bits and pieces from that. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you next time, and feel free to leave me a comment down below or via all the social medias, and let me know what you thought. Did you listen to any of the music? Did you watch the TV show? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm up for all the chats. So have a good month, and I'll see you soon.